So we're getting political on this unboxing video. Not really, but I do have a politician in this list of slabs that I've got here, and it's not a Sports Illustrated. We'll talk about that in a bit. I'm Jim. I'm with CGC Sports Illustrated. I do these unboxing videos of graded magazines. I know exactly what these issues are, but I do not know the grades. So you're getting my surprise reaction right here while I'm unboxing this and making sure that these are facing the right direction, so that I don't accidentally peek at the grades. Let's talk again about subscription versus newsstand for at least a minute, because not a week goes by where I don't get several messages from people, usually hating on me, saying, Jim, stop dogging subscription issues. I love subscription issues. Stop dogging them. I think they're cool. Awesome. I don't dog on subscription issues specifically. I just say they're not for me. If you want to collect Beanie Babies, knock yourself out. If you want to collect junk wax era sports cards, knock yourself out. They just produced too many subscription issues, too many Beanie Babies, too many junk wax cards for them to be interesting to me. I collect newsstand issues because they're interesting to me, and one of those reasons is because they are rare. So if you're new to this, go back and watch a bunch of my old videos. I talk about, some of my old podcasts and that sort of stuff. Not the unboxing videos, but a number of podcasts. I take a deep dive into subscription versus newsstand and lay it all out for you. I don't hate subscription issues. I've got tons of them. They're just not for me. There's just only a handful of subscription Sports Illustrateds that if you can pop in a high grade that would make them interesting to me. But if they're interesting to you, please enjoy. Knock yourself out. Okay, that's out of the way. I got about 10 slabs here. Some Jordans, some Tiger, some first covers, some personal faves, all that sort of stuff. Let's rock and roll. Looking for a ton of 9.8s. Damn, 9.8s have been hard to come by lately. Let's break that streak right now. Let's hope this is the only 9.6 in the box. Conor McGregor, first Sports Illustrated. It says that, doesn't it? Yeah. They've had the labeling right on that for a while. Came out on February 29th, 2016. There is one 9.8. There is now one 9.6. There are two 9.2s and several others. I had this projected at a 9.4, so beat my projection. Conor's rumored to be jumping back into the ring with UFC, trying to get a fight together with Michael Chandler. Hoping that'll happen sometime this year. Great looking cover, by the way. This picture of Conor McGregor, he looks like he's, 6'10". Looks like a badass. He is a badass, but he looks like this huge imposing figure when in reality he's what, like 5'8" or something like that. But kind of fun, a little different. Some UFC, some fighters. Come on! Purple label. And if you've seen another one of my unboxing videos recently, you know what this cover is because of the back. All right, let's just freaking take a look at it. Oh, it's only LeBron James' first cover at 9.2. That's all. Just got the shiv right in the back of my kidneys because this is a freaking restored purple label. Small amount of color touch on cover. So the purple label is the CGC's restored label. That means somebody has performed restoration on this magazine, and they give you a description of it in the notes up there, and somebody has performed some color touch on this. And so what you're seeing a lot now, and I'm talking about this more and more, is more and more purple labels show up in my unboxing videos. There is a risk when buying raw, ungraded Sports Illustrateds from random people that you don't know. And even when you do know, because a lot of times they don't know that there's been restoration done. But what sellers are doing is they're taking magazines, and let's look at an example here. So here's a great example. Spine ticks that break color. So those can't ever be fixed. So what somebody does is they see a little spine tick that breaks color, and this is on a part of black ink of the cover. What they'll do is they'll just take a Sharpie, black that white part out, make it look like it's in much better condition when it's not. And then they'll sell it to some idiot like me who's like, oh, this thing looks great. And I get it graded, send it into CGC, and it comes back with a freaking purple label. There's a risk when you buy raw issues. There's a risk that if you're buying a vintage issue, that the subscription label was removed and it's going to get classified as a subscription edition. There's a risk that the issue is not in the condition that you see when you purchase it online. There's a risk that that seller has done restoration to this issue. So keep that in mind, and just be careful out there. Jeez, what is that, like 4? I think that's 4 restored labels that I've had since the first of the year. And of course, they're all on big issues. A few LeBron, Wayne Gretzky first cover, Peyton Manning first cover. Couldn't be on some piece of junk that I'm just getting graded for my own personal collection or that sort of stuff. Has to be on these really big dog issues. That's a bummer. Okay, next up. Moving 9.6 and a purple label. It's got to get better from here. Am I right? Oh, this is fun. Told you things were going to get political. Not really. 8.5. Got the labeling. First Donald Trump Time magazine cover. So this came out on January 16th, 1989. This is a pop 1 of 1. There's none graded higher at this 8.5. I projected this at an 8.0, and you can see the major flaw right there is some color loss on the red part of the spine there. So back in 1989, Trump, it was just a real estate guy. And really his focus in 89 was his Atlantic City casino. He was bringing a ton of big boxing matches to his casino, heavyweight fights, Tyson fights, that sort of stuff. And that's kind of the world Trump lived in. And then, he becomes a reality TV star and, politician and president and all that sort of stuff. I just think it's cool. I had several other presidents that have been on non-Sports Illustrated. Talked about the presidents that have been on the Sports Illustrated. Very cool set to collect. Kennedy, Ford, Reagan twice, and Clinton. I have the Clinton graded. I own the 2 Reagans and the Ford. Kennedy is tough. I just think that non-sports athletes on big reputable publications like Time, Newsweek, U.S. News, Sports Illustrated, that sort of stuff, is kind of different and interesting to me, regardless of whether or not you think Trump's an idiot or think he's the greatest thing in the world. I just think that these historical figures are interesting, and I think these pop culture figures are interesting. Interestingly enough, at the time that this was produced, he was a pop culture figure, and now Trump's a historical figure. So 8.5, Trump First Time magazine cover, pop 1 of 1. 8.5 is okay. Always makes me feel better when it's a pop 1 of 1, none higher. And that's pretty good. I love this issue in any grade at all. This is the Michael Jordan. This is the Raging Bull cover. It's from May 15th, 1989. There are 3 9.6s. There are 5 9.4s. There are 4 9.2s. You can see this in a decent 8.0. I projected this at 8.0. I've talked about this a lot. This photo was taken during the famous series against the Cleveland Cavs in Game 5, Richfield Coliseum in Cleveland. Jordan with a shot on Elo, good! And, Jordan pumping his fists, and it was featured prominently in the Last Dance documentary. Let's take a quick clip of that.
The inbounds pass comes into Jordan. Here's Michael at the foul line. A shot on Elo, good! The Bulls win it! They win it! Set the Cleveland Cavaliers! Michael Jordan hits it!
I remember exactly where I was. I was a teenager, young teenager. I was in my buddy's living room, and we were watching that game, and we're standing up, and his parents are kind of like off behind us a little bit. Me and my buddy are standing there like, noses 2 inches from the TV, and Jordan hits that shot, and I throw my arms up in the air and hit their ceiling fan and knock their ceiling fan, and dust starts flying everywhere, and it's like all wobbly and wonky, and his parents are looking at me like I'm a freak, but I didn't care because Jordan nailed that shot. Love this cover. 8.0, Raging Bull. That's nice. Okay, next up. Here we go. Oh, okay. I knew this was in there, but I kind of forgot about it. I need a minute here. There's a lot going on with this issue. Russell Wilson, first Sports Illustrated cover. Does say Russell Wilson, first Sports Illustrated cover. It also says Russell Wilson cover there, where CGC denotes variants. Love variants. Love variant. I love first covers. I really love variant first covers. Russell Wilson, his first cover from September 2nd, 2013. This is a pop 1 of 1, none higher. Projected this at a 7.5. So I really outdid myself on this one. I got a kiss on this one. This doesn't look like an 8.5 to me. It looks a little bit more like an 8 at best. So this is a 1 of 4 variants. Crazy, impossible issue to find in newsstand. I mean, there's only a handful that I've ever seen. You can see that this 8.5 is the highest copy graded. Colin Kaepernick, RG3, and Andrew Luck were on the other covers that were distributed that week. Really, again, NFL preview issue. You've heard me talk about these before. When Sports Illustrated did these preview issues, they were very thick issues. Puts a lot of stress on the staples. So frequently, if you're looking at this issue raw, you will see tears along the staples. I think Russell Wilson's a Hall of Famer. I like him. I'm fingers crossed. He's got a great story. Falls back in the draft. Gets drafted by Seattle. Wins a Super Bowl. If Pete Carroll wasn't such a freaking idiot and had run Marshawn Lynch at the goal line instead of throwing the ball, he would have had 2 Super Bowls. I think Russell's a Hall of Famer. I like the idea of Sean Payton coaching him now in Denver. Fingers crossed that Russell can turn his career around and get back on track now with Denver. And this is just a great looking issue. Great looking issue. 8.5, 1 of 4, variant, first cover, Hall of Fame, future Hall of Famer, Russell Wilson. Okay, next up. It's a fun box, a lot of different stuff in here. Never owned that Russell Wilson cover before. Never. That's all right. I've owned a lot of these. I own several in 9.8, so I can't be disappointed when I see a Michael Jordan The Shot show up at 9.4. June 22nd, 1998, there are 13 9.8s, 10 9.6s, and now there are 11 9.4s. Like I said, I think I had 3 of them that I currently have on hand at 9.8. Projected this at 9.4, so spot on with my projection. My projections have been pretty decent this time around. And if anything, I've missed them a little bit to the low side. But fabulous in any grade. And it's funny, I was literally just watching The Last Dance last night because ESPN had it on. And I was just scrolling through and saw it there and watched a couple episodes of it. And saw the episode where they were featuring that last shot against Utah Jazz. Well, come on. Well, come on. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so you can't see it, but there is a deep crease that runs along the whole upper corner there. That's going to be the problem on this. That's a bummer. Tiger Woods, Sportsman of the Year. December 23rd, 1996, there are 3 9.8s, there are 7 9.6s, there are 2 9.4s. I had projected this at an 8.0. So missed it on that one. This is Tiger's second cover. I've talked about this a lot. Everybody wants Tiger's first cover. You never see Tiger's first cover up for sale in newsstand, at least not in a high grade. Very rare. And if you do see it, you're going to pay a lot for it. So the second cover ends up being the next most collectible one. And you see that with this. Sportsman of the Year, Tiger Woods from 1996, his second ever Sports Illustrated cover for a guy who was on 24, 25 covers, I think. And that's just the weekly normal covers. Doesn't count all the Golf Plus and all the other ancillary publications. A little bit more vintage here with this camel ad on the back. Pretty good. All right. This one's so awesome. Hulk Hogan, first Sports Illustrated cover, April 29th, 1985. There is 9.2. I've said this before. I used to own that. I sold it about 3 years ago. I've been kicking myself ever since then for letting it go. There's a 9.0. There are 3 8.0s. I own one of those 8.0s. Had projected this at 5.5, so glad to see that I popped it a little bit better than this. I think this is an underrated issue, and that may be a little crazy because everybody kind of likes this issue and wants it. But wrestling fans are so crazy and so into collectibles that there are people that don't collect graded magazines that would be into this issue because it's Hulk Hogan, because it's Sports Illustrated. So despite how popular this issue is, I still think this one is underrated. It says Hulk Hogan. Interesting. I don't know why they label it like this. First and only Hulk Hogan Sports Illustrated cover. Sometimes I can't figure out why CGC does things. I mean, that's cool that they added the word only. Unless he shows up on a Sports Illustrated cover in the future, then it's no good anymore, but whatever. Okay, next up. Okay, so couple of good things about this. Justin Herbert, first Sports Illustrated cover, August 12th, 2019. There are 9.4s. Everybody is killing themselves, falling over backwards, trying to get that first 9.6 or 9.8 in this cover. There are 9 9.4s. There are 13 9.2s. I projected this at 9.0, so missed my projection on that. It is a 1 of 4 variant cover. However, I believe this is the first time that this issue specifically has been broken out in the variants. I need to double check that on the census. But Justin Herbert, up-and-coming quarterback in the NFL. Love that cover. Love variants. Love first covers. Love variant first covers. Do not love that 8.0 grade. All right, here we go. This one's just for me. Bears Super Bowl cover from February 3rd, 1986. There is a 9.4. There are now 2 8.5s. There's a 6.5 and a few others. I projected this at 9.0, so within my range. As a Chicago guy, grew up there, lived there for a number of years. I'm all about the Bears and the Cubs and the Bulls and the Blackhawks. Of course, the Bears, 46-10 win over the New England Patriots. Richard Dent was the MVP, one of only 5 defensive players ever to be named MVP. Von Miller was the last one in Super Bowl 50. This was Super Bowl 20 and featured the greatest defense ever assembled in the history of football. Buddy Ryan and the famous 46 defense. And just magical season for those 85 Bears that us Bears fans are still living on today, almost 40 years later. Good box. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're interested in my magazine cleaning and pressing service, I also do comics too. Drop a comment or shoot me a DM on social media. Really appreciate you watching. We'll do it again soon. Thanks so much.